I want to speak to you, though, about some other patriots. Over in the UK, there's a movement called Operation Raise the Colours, where patriotic Britons are taking to the streets and flying Union Jacks and St George flags all around the place. The councils, who obviously are deeply offended by the presence of Union Jacks, are scrambling to go take them down. Here's a video of one group putting them back up just out of council reach.
Yeah, get it as high as you can, lads. Mint. Put one on the moon if we could. Well, the man on the moon's up the top of the road, so we could go up there. They're not coming down. We're getting these higher, right in the flagmobile. We're getting higher because it's been taken down a couple of times. So they're going somewhere where people can't reach. And that is the end of that.
So hundreds or even thousands of people all across the UK have been putting up all these flags across the country, as they should. It's the national flag. But the lefties in the media were not so happy about it. Take a look.
You get something called Operation Raise the Colours. That sounds very military. It sounds very aggressive.
People aren't putting up this flag to celebrate Britain. They're putting up this flag to remind us that Britain is white and we shouldn't be here.
So patriotism, you know, it is actually very militaristic, very violent, very racist to just want to fly your own flag in your own country.
Well, if you fly a pride flag, that's not aggressive, or a pro-Palestinian flag, that's not aggressive. You could fly a terrorist flag, that's not aggressive, but if you fly the Union Jack, that's aggressive. The fact is, people are sick of being made to feel like they should be ashamed of their own country. Yeah. This is not having a shot at migrants. This is simply British people saying we want to be proud of our own culture and heritage. And the response from some of those lefties that we saw there only serves to reinforce the upset that so many Brits feel. But can you really blame them? Remember, was it last week, Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, said he wanted to invite Donald Trump to tour London. And listen to how Sadiq Khan describes what's important about London.
Come to London and let me show him around our wonderfully diverse communities. Let me take him on the Pride March this coming summer, next summer. Let me take him to a mosque.
Is it any wonder locals feel like it's not their country anymore? And here's the serious problem, right? The Brits, along with everyone else in Europe, are really worried about war with Russia. They're increasing spending. They're trying to recruit more to the military. I was interested in comments in the media about these Union Jacks being raised and councils trying to pull them down. And I read a number of comments from people who had served in the military saying they would advise their children, do not join up. It's not worth it. The country they once knew is no longer worth serving. And when you've got those sentiments being expressed, and I would suggest those sentiments are not isolated. No. They are increasingly common here too. Yeah. You've got a major problem.
Well, the thing is, what are you fighting for? Who are you fighting for?
That's the point.
Because I think that Western democracies in particular have lost their identity through the fact, and I do think a lot of it has to do with people being brought into the country from cultures who are so far removed from Western democracies, and I think that is part of the problem. But, you know, I find we're at a crossroads right now because we've got a situation where if you are proud of your flag, you want to fly your flag, you are patriotic, you love your country, you are considered to be far right. Well, it's not far right to love your country or to fly your flag. And then on the other side, like what you've got, for example, in the Birmingham Council over in the UK, where they're now so scared to pull down Palestinian flags and they want police guard if they're going to pull down Palestinian flags. It just speaks to everything that is wrong with Britain right now. But you go and pull down those flags and suddenly you're labelled a racist. So we're really at a juncture, I think, and I think that the Birmingham Council in particular are acting like a bunch of bedwetters. For goodness sakes, you are the United Kingdom, okay? You should be proud to hang the Union Jack or the flag of St George and not be intimidated. But the problem is that in one part of Birmingham, about 80% are Muslim. And that is what they're most afraid about. And I don't think it's an isolated incident. We've seen it here, for example, in Western Sydney, where we've got similar sentiments. But it is purely ideological in my view, but that's where it's gotten to now.
Yeah, for sure. And we risk going down a similar pathway here in Australia unless we get back to a sensible conservatism where you can actually have pride and have a bit of patriotism without being labelled far right or disparaged by the left-wing media.
It's funny you were saying, Danica, if you believe in nationalism, you're far right.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know, if you believe that sex is fixed biological reality, you're far right as well.
Well, you're a bigot.
If you believe in norms, you're a far right extremist. The only way to get along these days is just to throw up your hands and say anything goes.
That's it.